17th Feb 2017. That was the day when I packed my bags and left my country, never to look back again. I always dreamt of living in a different country, and when I moved out of India 6 years ago, I knew that I was gonna make it or break it. And in that journey of making it or breaking it, I made uncountable mistakes because I was so unprepared, had very minimum guidance, and just figured things out on my own. But the mistakes I made should not be repeated, and that is why I'm going to share everything that I did wrong throughout my journey of these 6 years living abroad in Australia and in Canada. And today I'm sharing all of these amazing mistakes I made with you so you don't get to repeat them and you learn from these things so you are aware and a little more prepared than I was. And if you're new here, I am Akanksha and this is What's Next AB. And if you want to know what is next going on in my life about living abroad, working abroad, about all the places I travel, this is the place you should be, because I make videos that are informative, objective, raw, honest, unbiased, and everything that is real. So if you want to get real, this is the channel you should be looking at. And do not forget to hit the subscribe button if you're here, and let's get into the video. Okay, yeah, this is a lot more comfortable. When I moved out, the first mistake I made as an international student was not choosing the right course to study. When I was in India, I was looking at things that I can study, and then I found out this course that was called Masters of Cybersecurity, Intelligence, Policing and Counterterrorism with Masters of International Security, and I had a bachelor's in forensic science, so I thought this is pretty much relatable, and this also interested me a lot because the course was really deep and really like heavy with a lot of different modules that were very interesting. And so I applied, I got accepted, I went. But little did I think that I should be looking at courses that are a lot more in the industry. Throughout the course, I was thinking that I will get a job in maybe cybersecurity or something. And then when I actually graduated and started looking for jobs, I found out that I need a lot more experience and not only just a qualification to apply for something that is related to this particular subject, in Australia at least. So then I realized, no, this was not the right course that I should have chosen. Also, there was no pathway to PR from this course, and I did not even know what was PR before I was moving. So that was one more mistake I did. I did not choose the right thing, and that is why I had to change my careers, because it did not have a great work opportunities for someone who was just a fresher. And for that reason, I had to like switch my career, change stuff. I mean, I'm working in something that I really love right now, but that is also something I would have pursued if I had chosen the right direction and the right pathway to study that particular subject. So yeah, it's very important that you choose the right thing. And also, yeah, keep in mind if it's in the occupation list or not, because ultimately, if you want to live in the country that you're studying in, or if you want to move somewhere else as well, you want to have a course that is relevant and that provides a pathway to PR or is actually like in the list of skilled occupations. Mistake number 2. I did not take immigration policies seriously. When I was studying in 2017, I think Australia changed immigration policies. They cut down the cap in half. They slashed down the occupations that are available in the occupation list, and changes kept coming in. And I was so naive and stupid that time that I did not even think about like what should be my next course of action. I just kept going with the flow. I thought, oh, they're going to change the immigration policies soon enough. I'm still studying. I can apply for 2 more years of work visas. So like 5 years is a good time to just keep myself in action and just do what I'm doing, and the immigration policies might change. That is like the stupidest thing I had done. I had the option to move in a regional area, or if I had been smart enough, I should have done that. I did not take these immigration policy changes that seriously, and when the time came, I think the last 1 year or 1.5 years of my visa remaining, I actually panicked. I was like, I should have done something when the time was right. So do not do this mistake, do not repeat it. If an immigration policy change is happening, just remember that it's going to stay for at least 2 to 3 years. So you need to be prepared for anything that has to come. Have a plan B, have a plan C, have a plan D, and just work on whatever's happening and whatever changes are happening. Take them seriously. My worst mistake throughout my journey was taking help from inexperienced immigration agents. I mean, I cannot stress how important it is to just know who you are working with, who you are taking assistance from. If they are experienced, if they have the legal right to perform those things that they are doing for you. I mean, I took assistance from someone who I knew personally, and they had no idea what they were doing. They screwed my file, they misguided me, they did not know anything at that time. They were pretty new, and I was like, okay, I know this person personally. They seem like they know everything, but I was wrong. I should have never done that. Do not take help from immigration agents. Half the people don't know what they're doing, and other half is just after your money. I said this the last time, so I'm still sticking on that. If you really want help from someone, if you really need that assistance, go for immigration lawyers. Lawyers are actually people who have studied the law, and they know the legalities behind things that are happening, and they know everything. So, and also go for lawyers who have experience, who have been in the industry, and who are currently working with good reviews. Really take it seriously. It's your future, so don't play around with it. I was so stupid that I took help from this particular company. I'm not going to name names, but they really screwed up my future in Australia, and kind of they're the reason that I had to leave, because they misguided us. They had no idea what's happening. I did my research, then I found out what's happening, and these people, they later said that they don't even want to take responsibility for the screw ups they did. So it's very important that you choose the right people to represent you in your immigration application. It's your future. My fourth mistake was I did not make good financial decisions. Oh my god, I'm fumbling today. With that, I mean, I did not start investing soon enough. I did not have a good amount of savings when I was studying. So we were young, we were studying, and we were working as well. So the paychecks kept coming in, and I was living paycheck to paycheck for a long time. And that is like one mistake that I did, but I soon recovered from it. I learned that I should not be doing that. So the first step I did was stop living paycheck to paycheck. I started saving up even a little bit of money, like even if it's $50 that I can save every week, that was $200 a month. That added up to quite a lot throughout the year. Separate your savings and your expenses account. When I get my salary, save $1,000, I put it in one account. Then I calculate my expenses of the month. Maybe $600 are my expenses. I would take $600 out. I'm left with $400. I would take $100 out and put it in another account which I do not touch. It's forbidden. It's a forbidden account. That money is like there, and I will never ever touch it. That's my emergency fund. So I put that money there, and the rest, whatever I'm left with, I would use for the month. So, and with savings, I would also advise on investing. I mean, buy some gold. I mean, if you're in Australia, there's Perth Mint where you can like buy some gold and save it there, or invest in stocks, or invest in some kind of accounts, high interest accounts. So this is something I should have done a long time back. I did not take it seriously because I did not understand that. But now I realize that I should have actually started investing a long time ago. I'm doing it right now, and I at least invest about $500 to $600 every month now, and I would increase the limit. But even if you can invest $100 every month, you should start doing it right now. Number 5. Okay, this is something I did not fall for, but I was almost about to, and that is scams. Scams are very common outside, and these scammers, they especially target international students. So if you're an international student, do not make the mistake of falling for a scam. So when you're moving to a city or a country, just like Google, like what are the common types of scams for international students. The most common ones I know is that they would call up and say that this is ATO. ATO is Australian Taxation Office, or this is CRA, Canadian Revenue Agency, and they tell that you have been defaulted of XXX amount of money, and if you don't pay, your visa will be cancelled. I knew someone personally who fell for it, and he had paid I think $3,000 to the scammers, and later got to know it was a scam. So be very careful about these things. People call up. If a bank calls up, anyone calls up asking for money, disconnect the call up the bank, and then like double check if they are the people who are calling or it's a scam, and make yourself aware of it. Do not fall for them. I recently got a message that CRA has sent me money, and I need to click on this link to accept the Interact deposit. I clicked on it, and then I was like, oh shit, maybe it's a scam. I closed the page. I googled it. Is this like a scam? It turned out yes, it was. Thankfully, I did not put in any information. I closed the browser. I cleared all the cookies and everything, and thankfully nothing happened. But scams are so common and directed towards international students and newcomers especially that you have to be very careful and educate yourself about them. One more mistake that I did when I was moving to Canada actually was not conducting enough research about the place that I'm moving to. Since I had already lived in Australia, I was expecting Canada to be exactly like that or even close enough. So I did not think that there would be such a big difference between the two countries. But I should have done more research. I did a little bit of research and I spoke to a few people and they raved about the country and the place and Toronto particularly. So I just did not do any extensive kind of research. And then when I finally moved here, I got a tight slap in the face and it was like, no, Akanksha, you should have done your research before moving here. So yeah, this is something I really recommend you doing, and if you're watching this video, you're already doing your research. Talk to people, check forums and see where you're moving to. Check the goods and the bads, every single thing. Find out the shady areas, find out the good areas, find out the cheap and the expensive areas, find out where you should be going and should not be going. Find out every single thing about the place you're moving to and then make the move. Because otherwise, like when you go there, you get surprised, like you get really disappointed about like, oh, I did not expect this. It does not turn out to be a good experience. So definitely check out wherever you're going and do extensive research before you move. Now, these were some mistakes that I made personally, but there are also some more mistakes that I see my peers make, and I've seen a lot of international students repeating them. So I don't want you to do these things as well, okay? Mistake number 7, prioritizing work over studies. I cannot stress enough that your studies are the topmost thing that you're here for. You're not here for work, and you should be putting studies over work at any given time. I know it's important to earn money and to use that money towards your living expenses, but if you don't study, you will fail. And if you fail, you have to apply for supplementary tests. For supplementary tests, you need to pay money, and that money is a lot. It's not cheap to give those supplementary exams, and I have seen people pay like $4,000, so that means you have to work more to earn that money of supplementary tests, and I feel like it's just not worth it. Divide your work and study life, compartmentalize what hours you want to work and what hours you want to study, and do not give it a backseat. Number 8 is something that I have noticed a lot of students doing in Canada, which is getting into debt. The worst thing you can do to yourself if you are an international student is have a debt on you. It's like, it's never ending circle, it's very hard to get out of, so do not even try and get into that. This includes credit card debt, car loans, or loans from like your friends or banks. Do not get in any kind of loans. I see so many people earning maybe just like $400-500 a week and spending about $200 on their cars, like car lease and insurance. And I've seen that this is so common in Canada that students come in here and within a month they get maybe a fancy car out on lease or finance. Especially in Canada, it's so easy to get a loan that people get so like fascinated and attracted towards it, and that time they don't realize that it's just $200 a week. But if you're just earning $400, half of your salary is going on that particular loan, and what's the point of getting into debt as soon as you move to a country or just as an international student? I advise against it, and if you're someone who is in debt, make sure you pay it off as soon as possible and never get back into it. It's depressing, it's stressful, it's very hard to pay off the loans and the interest and everything. It's just like, it's a bad situation. So try and not get into any kind of debts if you are an international student in any country, Australia, Canada, wherever. I've seen this happening in Australia and Canada both, that people who have just moved into the country, they find this easy way of making money, which is going and working for delivery services like UberEats and Doordash. They are good to earn money, that's like no denying in that. You should be doing it 100%, but have a second job, have a side thing going on where you are actually talking to customers like retail, restaurants, McDonald's, anything where you get to talk to customers and just like interact with people, because it will teach you A, customer service, B, handling different kinds of people, build your confidence, improve your communication skills, help you learn management, multitasking, and a lot of different things. Like the way I am today is just because I worked in all these places where I had to talk to customers. I was a waitress for a couple of years. I worked in a retail store. I worked in admin where I had to do a little bit of sales as well. So customer facing jobs are kind of the best things you can do to yourself as a student, because it will teach you like shit tons of stuff that nothing else can teach you. One more thing I notice a lot of people, especially Indian people, doing is just mixing up with their own community. That is the biggest mistake you're making, because if you're moving abroad and just staying within the same community that you left, what's the point of moving abroad? This is an opportunity not everyone gets, and if you are somewhere in a new country, make sure that you take some time off to mix with people who are from different cultures, from different communities, maybe from a different country, and just expand your horizons and meet different people, so you get to learn a lot about diversity, get to understand other people's perspectives, respect them, put yourself in their shoes, and just understand where they're coming from. And the best way for socializing is staying in student accommodations. When I moved to Australia as a student, I made sure that I spent at least 1 year in student accommodation and stay there, so I get to meet other people from other countries, and I met so many. We had a lot of fun, and I got to know so much about other people as well, and also improve myself in that process. And also, like, university parties. I was in Macquarie University, and we had these U-bar parties, which was like the common bar of the university. We had parties every Thursday, and in those parties I met so many different people that I lost count of, and they were all from different countries, and it was such an amazing experience that I don't think I could have done anything better. Get out of your comfort zone, go and meet different people, go to parties, go to bars where you get to meet other people from other parts of the world, and make use of this opportunity you have, and just get out there. That's the best I can say. There's one particular mistake that I see people do, especially in Canada, is very disrespectful, honestly. I find that people don't want to learn and adapt to the new country that they have moved to. Small things like standing on the right side of the elevator, or standing in a queue when you're getting on a bus, or not shouting loudly in public spaces, or being courteous to people, or just like learning how the new country and the new culture goes on out and about in their everyday lives is something that you should force yourself and make an effort to learn, because you're moving to a different country. Again, learning a new culture and a new way of living is part of this living abroad process. Obviously, you won't know these things as soon as you move, but you just need to observe how people are behaving when they are in public spaces, because you are just not representing yourself, you're representing your country. And when people see you, they don't see you as a person, they see you as a nationality. Just learn how things work in the new city or country you're living in, and try and make an effort to learn. And if you make a mistake, apologize, move on, learn from that mistake, and do things in the right way the next time. But make sure you're at least taking the effort to learn and adapt in the new ways of the new country. And the last mistake that I see a lot of people making, and I want to stress is very, very harmful for you, like especially if you're new to a country, is not bringing enough funds to sustain yourself for at least 6 months. It's not very smart to think that as soon as you land, you will get a job. And you need to give yourself time to at least learn how you get a job in a new country, because again, it's a different process, and there's a different way of doing things. And by the time you learn and the process happens, it's gonna take time, and you need to give yourself at least 6 months to get a job and get that cash flow in. But until those 6 months, you need money to sustain yourself. So if you're moving to a new country, make sure you have that money. Do not come empty pocketed or just with living expenses of a month or something, and then you think that, okay, I'll get a job and I'll start earning money, and that's when I'll see what I want to do. Do not make that mistake. It's amazing if you get a job in a month or two, but if you don't get a job and you don't have that extra money, what will you do? You don't want to be homeless in a new country. So make sure you have you come with realistic financial goals, and you come with realistic amount of money to live in a new country. It's like the most important thing you have to do when you're moving somewhere. This was the last video of the year, and I told you about all the mistakes that I made in my life abroad, and just make sure you don't make them. And if you do not forget to learn from it. Mistakes are part of life, and I feel everyone should make them, but don't stress too much over them. Learn from them and move on, grow and build upon yourself. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, do not forget to hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, because that's what I need. Let me know also what you think about the video and this concept, and if you have any more questions, also put them in the comment section below, because I would love to answer them. I hope you had a great 2023, and I hope you have a better 2024. And Happy New Year, happy holidays. So let's get into the new year with some amazing stuff, amazing content, and with some amazing people like you who are watching my video. I'm so glad to have you as a part of my life and this community, and I couldn't be more grateful. Thank you so much for always supporting me, and I love you guys.